We're just waiting for our referee, Andreas Ekberg from Sweden. Relatively inexperienced. It's only his second Champions League match that he's taken charge of. His first was Manchester City against Hoffenheim last season, as Salzburg are attacking the Kop end. So they're playing from left to right, as Barnsley have just taken the lead at Oakwell against Derby County. So Barnsley 1, Derby 0. Remember, Cardiff lead QPR by a goal to 0, and it's still Charlton 1, Swansea City 0. 7:45 kickoffs in the Championship. This, of course, is at 8 o'clock, and Liverpool are coming forward with Henderson to Mane, up against his former side, into the penalty area. Robertson on the overlap, slightly behind him, and let's bring in Chris Sutton.
Well, it was a poor touch, and just see Salzburg, the way they play, two up top, have a diamond in midfield. And you think that Liverpool's fullbacks, who are so good, their delivery, they'll see plenty of the ball. They're going to be key in this game, but Salzburg, they'll go for it. Plenty of goals this season.
Yeah, 55 they've scored in their 12 games. As we set the scene as well, I always think it's very important to set the scene, and not just necessarily from what your eyes can see. And I'm not just talking about the shimmering lights around Merseyside or the plenty of red shirts here at Anfield as well, but sometimes it's right in front of you.
I know where you're going with this.
As the throw for Liverpool in towards Salah, a little flick and cleared by Verba. And there was a slight accident just as we were waiting to come on air, as Chris Sutton spilt his cup of tea all over his notes. So if there was to be an exciting game, and it was maybe an ooh from you tonight, that'd be Thai food, because you only get an ooh with Thai food, don't you?
Well, the incredible thing about that was Juliet Farrington, our producer, didn't get me a tissue or a cloth to mop it up. She was only interested in filming it for my humiliation.
It's how you respond from adversity, and there you are now without your notes, soaked in that cup of tea. They were able still to bring you it because he, rather in a selfless act, protected the equipment rather than anything else. As Salzburg, it's opened up here, and the shot is fired in by Minamino, the Japanese international, just on the edge of the area, right-footed, and it was wide of Adrian's goal.
Well, I tell you what, wasn't far away at all there. Left-hand side of the box, Minamino. They will attack, and you see this high press from them. Down to Adrian's right-hand post, a couple of yards wide, but a good start from Salzburg.
Henderson now comes over the halfway line for Liverpool, in all red, playing from right to left. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live, and then they go back, and we can go to the Valley. There's been a goal. Chris Wise.
Well, Charlton were ahead after 2 minutes. Swansea have just equalised after 17. Jan Danda with the goal, a deflected effort from just inside the penalty area, silencing the Valley. Charlton 1, Swansea 1.
Swansea with a win can go top, but the top 7 are actually separated by 3 points in that concertina championship. Ball given away. Minamino inside, looking to Mwepu. Liverpool will win it back, but the Swedish referee has given a free kick to Salzburg. And Mwepu, who's a 21-year-old, another Zambian international, third season with the club, spotted playing at a youth tournament in Zambia, but because of the...
Well, he started his career at Celtic, didn't he? Cafu Celtic in Zambia.
See what he did there, very good. They're drying out the notes, I take it, are they?
They are, yeah. Interesting, isn't it? They don't have work permit issues, Salzburg.
Junizovic is going to take the free kick. He chips the ball in towards the penalty area, flags up. Ongueni was caught offside inside the penalty area. I think there are about 5 clubs in the Red Bull franchise, and Salzburg obviously are one of them. Mane, along with Naby Keita, of course, used to play for the Austrian side, and in fact just after they'd finished the warm-up, they were both embraced by the coaching staff. Good pressing by Liverpool. Henderson looking to win it back. Mane there as well. Salah. Christensen able to hook it away along the ground, and now the decision goes against Jordan Henderson for a foul on Enoch Mwepu, and that will be a free kick to Salzburg. 0-0, 4.5 minutes played live at Anfield.
Yeah, that was Liverpool's high press, and I tell you what, Christensen did really well. He went to ground and had to win the ball from Mane, who would have been in. He got the perfect challenge.
In Group F, bearing in mind that they're all on 1 point from the match day one, Borussia Dortmund in the early game went away at Slavia Prague 2-0, but a latest score from the Nou Camp, Barcelona 0, Inter Milan 1. Robertson coming forward. Mane turns just outside the centre circle, diagonal ball, picks out Salah. Henderson's going on ahead of him. Henderson right side of the penalty area, back to Salah, right corner of the box, nice little link-up play, Firmino to Salah, just coming across was Nguene to turn it behind for a corner kick. But as promised, it's the heptathlon, it's the 200 metres, Katarina Johnson-Thompson and your commentator, Mike Costello.
Thank you, Ian. Yes, this is the last of 4 disciplines on the opening day of the heptathlon. 3 more to come tomorrow, and Johnson-Thompson just being introduced to the crowd here. The images at either end of the stadium on the screens high above the respective bends, and Johnson-Thompson is looking for a time here anywhere inside 24 seconds will give her the lead after this first day of competition. A great day so far for Johnson-Thompson as they're called forward to their blocks. Lifetime best performances in the 100 metres hurdles and in the shot put, and a promising performance in the high jump as well to leave her in second place going into this discipline behind the reigning world champion, also the reigning Olympic champion Nafi Thiam of Belgium. What a showdown it's been so far, billed as one of the most eagerly awaited of the championships, and so far living up to that title. They're down on their blocks, far side of the stadium. And now they're underway. Johnson-Thompson drawn in lane 4 has her immediate target of Erica Bugard of the United States on her outside, and she's already starting to close that gap off the top of the bend, which Dina Asher-Smith will grace in around half an hour's time, and into the home straight. And it's Johnson-Thompson beginning to pull away now from Kendall Williams, the second American in the lineup here. A look at the clock from Johnson-Thompson. She wants something inside 24 seconds, 23.09 seconds. Katarina Johnson-Thompson will lead the heptathlon field into the second day at the World Championships.
Thank you, Mike. And don't forget as well, Dina Asher-Smith in the 200 metre final just after 8:30, back to Doha with Mike Costello for that. You haven't missed anything whilst you've been away, and just as Mike rejoined us here at Anfield, still 0-0. Ball was just played in to the penalty area, and it was picked up by Stankovic, the goalkeeper, all in yellow. Chris
Firmino nearly got on the end of that. I wondered whether Mane and Firmino were offside there. The flag didn't go up. Here's an opportunity for Salzburg.
And it's with Hwang, the South Korean. He's actually wearing like a Zorro-like eye mask because he took a blow in training last week. The ball caught him full on in the face, damaged one of his eyes, and as a result of that he's just wearing some protection. Hee-chan Hwang, 23-year-old, was on loan at Hamburg last year when they were relegated. Only scored 2 goals in 21 appearances, but he's found the net on 5 occasions in his 9 for Salzburg this year, as Van Dijk will just wait for the ball to settle. Goes back to Adrian. Made his first start for Liverpool in the Super Cup. First European experience here though at Anfield for the keeper, deputising for Alisson, still out with that calf problem, although he might be back for the game against Leicester City at the weekend. A game, incidentally, you can hear on 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon on BBC Radio 5 Live. Game of the weekend here live on 5 Live. Valencia 0, Ajax 1 is the latest score from the Mestalla Stadium. Valencia 0, Ajax 1. They both won their opening match in Group H. That's in Chelsea's group. They're in Lille. John Southall.
Chelsea 0, Lille 0. Chelsea dominated the opening 8 minutes or so. Lille being penned in.
Mane will score. Sadio Mane doesn't celebrate as he puts Liverpool ahead against his former club inside the 9th minute. Got the 1-2. Cool finish from Sadio Mane. Just strokes the ball past the goalkeeper Stankovic, and Liverpool lead by 1-0. Oh,
how good was this from Mane against his former club. Magnificent it was. Down the left-hand side, Robertson's had plenty of space. He feeds the ball to Mane, who chops inside Christensen. Little give and go with Firmino. Perfectly weighted pass from Firmino. Mane doesn't break stride. Draws the keeper and slips it past him from 6 yards. It's a perfect start for Liverpool.
It's his 7th goal of the season. He had gone 3 games without. Would you believe he hasn't gone 4 games without in 2019? It's his 24th goal of the calendar year. He didn't celebrate because, of course, he had 87 appearances at Salzburg between 2012 and 2014, but everybody inside Anfield did, as Liverpool lead by 1-0. Back to Lille. John Southall.
Yes, Chelsea nil, Lille nil. As I say, Chelsea have been dominating possession. They're pushing forward now down the right-hand side. Willian will try and get the cross in, cleared away by Lille. Just to say, as we expected, Chelsea are playing a 3-4-2-1 formation, as they did against Valencia in the opening game of the Champions League. Chelsea nil, Lille nil.
Very good goal from Liverpool. Champions of Europe is the chant from the Kop. Salzburg, who've scored 2 goals in each of their games this season. It's frightening. They've hit 7 on 2 occasions. They've hit 4 on a couple of occasions. 5 goals 3 times.
They're averaging over 4 a game, aren't they?
Yeah, 55 goals in.
Yeah. Okay, yep.
I didn't do particularly well at maths at school, but even I can work that one out.
They've got a mountain to climb now. Salzburg, famous. The Sound of Music, Deno?
Yes.
You a big fan?
Not really, but I'm sure we'll hear a few more songs from you or a few more quips as the game goes on. Those notes really are drying out. 11 minutes played. Liverpool lead by a goal to nil.
You're in a minority, aren't you there? Not a fan of the Sound of Music?
I don't know if I am. Didn't realise that you had to be a fan of it. For all you know, I could be a fan of Mozart.
Well, famous son.
Gomez
Salzburg
to Van Dijk at the heart of the Liverpool defence. Daka went to put him on some pressure. Gomez lets it run through Henderson to Salah. Salah on that right hand side. Henderson looking to try and get forward. Leipzig 0, Lyon 1 is the latest score in Group G. Leipzig won their opening game. Lyon only drew it against Zenit St. Petersburg, who are currently playing Benfica. Liverpool are on the attack. Robertson. I suppose the incentive for Liverpool here is to try and get this game put to bed as early as possible and then look to make those changes to rest key players ahead of Leicester City at the weekend.
I think it's the right way to do it. Go out strong, get a few goals up, and then rest players. Like you said, there's no point playing a weaker outfit and then go behind and chasing the game then.
This is the 100th European Cup game at Anfield. Liverpool have won 70 of the previous 99. Minamino was almost in. A little turn, but Andrew Robertson snuffed out the danger.
They just weren't slick enough in that moment. They had a 3v2. Salzburg and Liverpool, a consequence of the way they play. Alexander-Arnold and Robertson high up. Chance wasted. That final ball from Salzburg.
Wijnaldum to Mane, the goal scorer. Liverpool 1-0 up. As we look, playing from right to left. Crossfield ball. Alexander-Arnold was forward, but it's brought under control as he comes in field. Salah. Every outfield player now in the Salzburg half away towards our left-hand side. Mane able to turn. Robertson on this near side, plays it back. Wijnaldum. Jesse March, the American, the 45-year-old, the coach. You might remember him from being the assistant to Bob Bradley at the World Cup in 2010. He replaced Marco Rose, who went on to Borussia Mönchengladbach in the summer. So he's made a very impressive start. There he is in his suit, holding a piece of white paper, pointing with his right hand, looking down at the notes as well as Liverpool now dominate. Across to Alexander-Arnold, early ball. Henderson tried to lay it off first time to Salah and went past the Egyptian and out of play for a throw. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, white piece of paper. The way Liverpool are playing, it could be a white flag later on in this game, but they've got their own threat. They pose their own threat. I suppose the disappointing thing from a supporter's point of view, Erling Haaland not in the starting lineup for Salzburg.
He's been recovering from illnesses. That's a nice little ball played in by Firmino. Robertson back to Firmino, the birthday boy, comes inside now, holds onto the ball, left corner of the penalty area, cut out by Verba, out of play it will go for a throw to Liverpool as they play from right to left. Wijnaldum will want to take this one.
Mission impossible. This game was described by the Salzburg manager, Jesse Marsch. Hasn't been a good start. They are capable.
Oh, they're more than capable given an opportunity. Van Dijk with Wijnaldum. Robertson continues to stay ahead of him on this near side, so quite high up the left back. Firmino loses the ball. Minamino had a little touch. Liverpool win it back. Robertson's little flick inside to Mane. And he runs out of play eventually for a goal kick to Salzburg, who look to take. Trailing by a goal to nil, 15 minutes played. Dina Asher-Smith runs in about a quarter of an hour's time. You'll hear it here live from the World Athletics Championships in Doha on 5 Live. The goal kick then taken by Stankovic, the Austrian international, out towards that far side, the left. He was looking towards Szoboszlai, the Hungarian. I would imagine that there'll be a lot of scouts here tonight at Anfield. They'll be watching Szoboszlai, the 18-year-old. He's been linked with Arsenal among other top clubs in Europe. And Haaland, however you want to pronounce it as well, they'll be here as well. I asked Jan Fjortoft how to pronounce it, because of course his dad was Alpha Inge Haaland from Leeds United, Manchester City, and Nottingham Forest, as Hwang.
He got lucky, Gomez, didn't he, there? He just Hwang got the other side of him, and he had a little tug. Had he gone down, he would have given the referee a decision to make. Good run from Hwang.
Jan-Åge Fjortoft told me that Haaland and Haaland's even confusing the Norwegians.
So it's bound to confuse us.
No, certainly bound to confuse me. But interesting as well that when the fullbacks are pushing on here for Liverpool, they are quite high. Alexander-Arnold right, Robertson on this near side, the left, as they defend the Kop as we look. It means that Salzburg can put the high ball over the top for the front two to make the runs into the gaps behind.
Yeah, I think that's the plan from Salzburg. Good movement up top.
Looking to come through the middle on this occasion. Wang was not able there. Christensen came forward, the blonde-haired right back, the Danish defender. And Liverpool will get a free kick off the Scandinavian referee, Mr. Andreas Ekberg, as Liverpool lead by a goal to nil. Chelsea are still drawing away in Lille, but in that group, remember, Ajax are 1-0 up. And coming up for Chelsea, those back-to-back games against last year's semi-finalists.
We're 16, going on 17 minutes, and Salzburg, they've shown enough, haven't they? They could threaten this Liverpool back line.
There's the ball again, played over the top, and you've got Gomez and Van Dijk at the minute being quite exposed because the fullbacks and they're bypassing the midfield at every opportunity. Salzburg.
That's one thing that they don't lack, though, Gomez. Van Dijk, plenty of pace, the pair of them. You would think they should be able to cope.
That early goal as well, it's a very quiet atmosphere inside Anfield. It's almost as if, okay, European champions, we're back underway, doing what we do best here at Fortress Anfield. As Mane, the goal scorer, comes forward. Henderson's forward ball to Firmino, cut out by Verba. This runs off the back of the arm of Gomez. And Salzburg now to Hwang. South Korean comes inside, it bobbles for him as well, and in the end it was Jordan Henderson who was back there. It'll be picked up by Minamino on this near side, but Andrew Robertson is there just to dispossess him, and Robertson then will play the ball forward. Have to be careful with the challenge inside the penalty area. Excellent defending from the Scottish international.
It is good strength, wasn't it? But once again, thought they were wasteful there, Salzburg. Again, Liverpool's fullbacks getting forward, and they are leaving big spaces. Salzburg exploiting it.
Let's go back to Lille, John Southall.
Lille 0, Chelsea 0, but the first chance for Chelsea, poor clearance straight to Mason Mount, just inside the penalty area, smashed it over the bar. It was a good chance, that one. Chelsea dominating, 70% possession. Lille 0, Chelsea 0.
No other goals in the Championship. Barnsley still lead Derby by a goal to nil. Cardiff City 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0, Charlton 1, Swansea City 1. 5 Live here at Anfield. Van Dijk drives the ball long downfield. Alexander-Arnold offside against Salah. Headed it into the path of the Egyptian, just caught the offside flag. It's taken quickly. Salzburg, though, too quickly give the ball away. Back to Henderson, forced out wide on that right-hand side, sliding across.
What a pass that was from Van Dijk. 60, 70 yards, effortless.
Here is Henderson, midway through the Salzburg half. Van Dijk, Robertson infield now to Wijnaldum. Goes inside now to Mane. Liverpool still have the slender lead. Mane picks out Alexander-Arnold, a swamping Salzburg. In comes the cross, caught by the goalkeeper. But because the fullbacks are effectively playing almost as another midfielders, they're so far high up in the pitch, the Salzburg, they're getting overrun.
Yeah, they are. They're seeing so much of the ball. You can't allow Robertson and Alexander-Arnold that time to get their heads up and pick a cross out because they are so good. And Salzburg playing into Liverpool's hands somewhat. But then on the flip side, it's risk and reward, isn't it? Because they are looking a threat and they win the ball back.
They just seem to have lacked composure when they've had half openings in front of the Kop, as Liverpool almost lose the ball. Fabinho had to win it back at the second time of asking. Finds Henderson, room to run into on that far side, the right for Henderson. Forward ball, Firmino, back to Henderson. Henderson, little touch. Salah inside the penalty area. Good footwork by Salah. Salah still going, the angle is tight, and in the end it's turned behind from Ulmer for a corner kick. Liverpool were very threatening then, 1-0 to the home side.
It's all tricks and flicks down the right-hand side for Liverpool. Brilliant from Henderson. And Salah dancing feet inside the box. Eventually is hassled out, and the ball behind for a Liverpool corner.
Corner kick then to Liverpool. Far side to right, attacking the Anfield Road end, playing from right to left. It's an outswinger, aimed towards Mane near side, cleared by Salzburg. Bouncing ball away from Salah, comes under pressure, plays it back to Robertson, swings his left foot at that, drops on the edge of the area, headed away by the Salzburg captain, the left back Ulmer. Henderson, the Liverpool skipper, will retrieve it and sees it back to Gomez. Ripple of applause for the appreciation and the hard work of Henderson, who stayed out on that right-hand side. Alexander-Arnold, though, is actually ahead of him. Another indication of how high the Liverpool fullbacks are, as Derby County have equalised at Oakwell in the Championship. Barnsley 1, Derby County 1. We're also on the red button. 5 Live final score, BBC Sport website 2. Here we are at Anfield in the Champions League, and the champions are 1-0 up against the Austrian champions, who are winless against their 4 previous occasions when they've been up against English opposition. As Salah now on the left-hand side comes forward to Firmino. Firmino inside the penalty area, tries to turn, cleared away from
good challenge. Good challenge from Gwene there, who actually got the nod over the experienced Brazilian Ramalho.
There's been a goal at Lille in Group H. John Southall.
Well, we think there has. Lille 0, Chelsea 1. VAR are checking it. Tomori's ball through. Abraham, on first viewing, looked offside as the ball went through to him. He finished it well into the bottom right-hand corner, possibly for his 8th goal of the season. The referee is still with his hand to his ear, waiting for the outcome of the VAR decision. As I say, looked offside. We're still waiting. Chelsea, as it stands at the moment, leading by a goal to 0, and it's been given. Lille 0, Chelsea 1. Tammy Abraham with his first Champions League goal.
Wouldn't at all be surprised if he features in the England squad, which is named tomorrow by Gareth Southgate. There'll be reflections on 5 Live Sport with our correspondent John Murray tomorrow night after he's spoken to Gareth Southgate. He announces his squad for the forthcoming Euro 2020 qualifiers, both away against the Czech Republic and then Bulgaria. Of course, you'll hear those games on 5 Live, as Liverpool, who are leading here by a goal to 0, with Wijnaldum. Robertson on the overlap, played it forward, struck his heels, comes back rather fortuitously to Wijnaldum, edge of the area, twist one way and then the other. Henderson's now involved. Little big back heel there from Mane. Gomez comes onto the ball to Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool are zipping it around. Wijnaldum, does it open up for him? 25 yards out from goal. Finds Salah, stretching a little bit with his back to goal. Liverpool have kept it alive. Salzburg have everybody back bar Hwang, trying to get the early release, but Liverpool have still got the ball. It's with Alexander-Arnold now towards Henderson, and then it's stabbed away by Verber, looking towards Ulmer, and at the minute Salzburg can't hold on to the ball, so it just keeps coming back.
Yeah, we have to credit Liverpool. There's a zest and a zing to their passing at the moment, dictating the play, but Salzburg hanging on in there. At 1-0, they've shown enough of a threat going forward.
Zenit St. Petersburg are leading Benfica by a goal to 0 in Group G. So Leipzig 0, Lyon 1, Zenit 1, Benfica 0. Benfica, who lost their opening match against Leipzig. Robertson forward, near side, in field. Henderson gets the ball back from Salah. Early ball to Alexander-Arnold. First time cross, drilled in. Brilliant goal. Absolutely brilliant goal by Liverpool. They increase their lead. What a move that was, over on the far side. Robertson, the left back, finishing it off inside the 6-yard area. That was sharp, it was slick. They cut Salzburg apart.
Oh, this is Liverpool at their very, very best. And I spoke about You cannot give fullbacks of their quality too much room and too much time, and that's exactly what Salzburg did. Alexander-Arnold on the money, and Andy Robertson makes a run across the box, 6 yards out, side foots the ball in, a cool finish.
We've talked a lot about the fullbacks getting forward, but for a left back to be in that position is ridiculous.
Well, they play, I mean, you've spoken about how high they've been playing this evening. They are formidable, aren't they? Such a big part of Liverpool in an attacking sense, and the way they play, they are fearless. But you're thinking, what's the left back doing, making a run across the near post? What a finish, a striker's finish, if you like, from Robertson.
Only his second goal for the club. His first was against Brighton here in May 2018, but well, he's a firm favourite. Makes those marauding runs from left back, but it was the build-up play as well, wasn't it, for Liverpool? It was patient. They played through the lines, and then they had that cutting edge. I mean, Robertson was involved. When you think back that it was his dart into the midfield, and he just kept on running as Henderson had played it out to Alexander-Arnold, and that freedom, that adventure.
They're not matching Liverpool in the wide areas, and I have to say it's a surprise. And spoke about that they would be attacking Salzburg, but you know, you could argue they've been really naive, letting Liverpool play to their strengths. There he is again, Robertson,
early ball in towards the penalty area, just away from Firmino. Ulmer will clear the left back. Szoboszlai hardly had a look in at the minute, the teenager, as the ball is played forward by Junuzovic, and Fabinho was the one who had to come back there to help out because Gomez was still forward, Henderson as well. But you've got Fabinho as well as Henderson covering a lot of ground in the midfield as well.
Did well there, because they were 2-on-2. Have to get that challenge right. Here's Robertson again, acres of space.
Now Mane coming forward. Christensen has to backpedal. Liverpool lead by 2-0, but they're hungry for more goals here, as the ball is played on the inside, and then it's played long by Junuzovic, but it'll be dealt with by Van Dijk. Now with Wijnaldum. Ball is stroked forward by Van Dijk. Now much more of an atmosphere as Liverpool have got that second goal. And the ball played early by Fabinho. Salah will give the chase, and Verba has to come across the central defender to head the ball out of play and out for a throw. So just after 8:30, Dina Asher-Smith in action in the 200 metres final. Let's get a flavour of what it's like in Doha now with Mike Costello.
Yeah, Dina Asher-Smith and her other finalists have been out onto the track to tend to their starting blocks because of the huge introductions here with light and sound and the darkness falling over the stadium. They'll be back with the main introductions very shortly, but she was looking very calm and very composed ahead of this, one of the biggest occasions of her entire career. After winning silver in the 100 metres earlier in the championships, she's now favourite for gold in the 200.
And you'll hear it here live on BBC Radio 5 Live. Liverpool lead 2-0. Nguene drives the ball downfield. Hwang won't get there, headed away by Van Dijk, kept in play by Robertson on this near side. I notice now that Hwang seems to have dispensed with the eye mask as the ball is played out to Alexander-Arnold. Plays it forward, looking towards Henderson, cut out by Szoboszlai. Looks up, plays the ball diagonal over the top. Easily dealt with by Van Dijk. Nice little touch by Robertson. Ball lifted forward by Fabinho. Here is Salah! Drills it just wide. Hit it first time as it dropped over his shoulder, left-footed. About a foot wide in the end. Real chance for Liverpool, still 2-0.
Yes, really good movement from Mo Salah in behind a high line from Salzburg. The perfect pass as he drifts into the left-hand side of the box. You're thinking the back of the net will bulge, and he slices it horribly wide.
Again, another good ball forward by Fabinho for Liverpool, who lead 2-0. Over on that far side, It's with Henderson now. Collects the ball from the throw, just over the halfway line. Gets a little of a lucky ricochet. The return ball from Salah couldn't find him. They go hunting for the loose ball. Now Szoboszlai will pick it up for Salzburg. Minamino loses out to Gomez. Here is Wijnaldum, arms pumping. And passes the ball now to Mane, who got the first goal. Liverpool lead 2-0. Robertson's ball is going to be brought away now, and all of a sudden there's a potential break for Salzburg, looking towards Daka. Hardly mentioned Daka, have we, the young Zambian international striker. Liverpool just continuing to dominate, Chris Sutton.
Yeah, they've just been a little bit wasteful, haven't they, Salzburg, and they've won the ball back. Recent moments, need to be slicker with that final ball.
Here is Salzburg. Minamino inside the penalty area, forces a save from Adrian, who made the run into the inside left channel in front of the Kop, got it out from underneath his feet, left-footed shot. Adrian made the save to his right.
No, I tell you what, it's really good movement, and it's a save you'd expect Adrian to make down to his right-hand side, but there's a warning sign for Liverpool. Don't take Salzburg for granted.
Derby County have come from behind. They now lead at Barnsley in the Championship by 2-1. Salzburg have the corner kick on the left-hand side, headed away by Firmino on the edge of the 6-yard box in front of the Kop. Goes back out to Ulmer, and then looking to win the ball was Mwepu. Plays it to Ulmer. Good interception though by
He's everywhere.
Robertson. He is everywhere.
In the right back position. What a ball that is as well. It's Alexander-Arnold at left back.
The ubiquitous Andrew Robertson, and now Alexander-Arnold from left back looks for Salah. It might still reach Salah. Salah still got it into the penalty area, and Salzburg nick it away with Verba off his toes. There's the long ball over the top again, looking for the run of Patson Daka. Cardiff City 2, QPR 0 is the latest score from South Wales, and you're up to date in the Championship on BBC Radio 5 Live with 13 minutes to go to half-time here of Liverpool leading Salzburg 2-0. Let's get the latest from Lille. John Southall.
Lille 0, Chelsea 1, but Lille have woken up. They have a corner over on the far side. First chance of the game for them. Louis Aruju right of the area. Good shot saved by Kepa to his right-hand side. Lille 0, Chelsea 1.
They're attacking. Hwang blocked by Virgil van Dijk. It's worth reminding people as well that Liverpool, we talk about their front three and how they've posed problems, but they haven't conceded in their last 5 European games at Anfield coming into this game, as Christensen nutmegs Alexander-Arnold, still occupying a position as a left back at the minute, and gets a corner kick as well. There's a corner for Liverpool, a corner for Salzburg, but quickly a goal at Lille. John Southall.
We said they'd woken up. Lille 1, Chelsea 1. From that corner there was Victor Ousmane with a header from 8 yards out. Lille 1, Chelsea 1.
Thank you, John. Corner kick then going to be taken by Junuzovic on this near side, attacking the Kop. They're in all black, Salzburg, playing from left to right. Liverpool have everybody back. Liverpool have a 2-goal cushion. We've got about just under 12 minutes to go to half-time. Junuzovic, Szoboszlai has wandered across on this near side as well. Liverpool have everybody back. It's taken short to Szoboszlai. Now work back. Played in early. That was a free header from Verba at the back, but he was offside. The assistant referees, remember, in the Champions League are told to keep their flags down. There were 3 of them in a clear offside position.
Well, I'm not so sure Hwang was offside. Verba certainly was.
Salah forward at the other end. In the end, it was well off target anyway from Verba. Firmino links up with Salah, cut back towards Mane. It'll reach Henderson. Cries of shoot. Instead, he invites the ball out towards the right-hand side for Alexander-Arnold to join the attack. Liverpool go back. We're going to Doha very, very soon. Dina Asher-Smith, remember, going for gold in the World Athletic Championships in Qatar. Liverpool will be heading to Qatar later in the year for the World Club Championship. They lead 2-0, the European champions.
Later on in the year, Deno.
Hold on, Salzburg, Hwang overruns it.
The ref's gone down.
The ref's taken a little slip. I've only been once to Doha. It was in November, and it was still very, very hot. Very hot.
Yeah, but you're from the north.
Ajax have got a second goal. Liverpool are looking for a third. Ball played into Firmino. Unselfishly, he tried to cut it across towards Salah. There was appeals for handball. Szoboszlai. Junuzovic. Early. Cut out by Robertson. Hwang might have been away had Robertson not made the intervention for Liverpool. They're still looking to try and come forward, but Liverpool, every time they enter that final third, you think there could be something happening for them.
Well, I mean, they're just going toe-to-toe, aren't they? They have had opportunities. There's been that final ball before Salzburg had the chance. Adrian made a decent save. There'll be more goals in this tonight.
Robertson slips it into the path of Mane. Mane with a cross, header on the run, saved by the goalkeeper. Salah on the rebound, turns and shoots, and Liverpool have got their third goal. And surely for the European champions, the 3-points are in the bag, and they're up and running as they defend their European crown.
Yep, flexing the muscles again down the left-hand side. Good ball in. The birthday boy, Firmino, probably thinks he should have scored, 6 yards out. Maybe not the pace on the ball. Because Stankovic makes a smart save down to his left-hand side. And Mo Salah, well, he's not going to miss from there. 6 yards out, centre of the goal, whips it past the goalkeeper. 3-0. Game over.
Straight to Doha. Dina Asher-Smith going for gold. Mike Costello.
Yes, the athletes back out on the track, coming through neon-lit entrances, and the loudest ovation of the night, possibly of the championships, for Dina Asher-Smith, drawn in lane number 7, and her image appears on the screens at either end of the stadium. The gold medal favourite. The full lineup here from the inside. On lane number 2, Gina Bass of Gambia. Then in lane 3, Yvette Lalova-Kolio of Bulgaria. Mujinga Kambunji of Switzerland is in 4. Then one of 3 Americans in lane 5, Angeline Anulus. Brittany Brown is in 6. Outside Asher-Smith in 7 is the reigning American champion Desiree Bryant, possibly the biggest threat to Asher-Smith here. And Tina Gator of the Bahamas is on the outside in lane number 9. What an opportunity for Dina Asher-Smith. Women's sprinting competition began at the Olympics in 1928. These World Championships in 1983. Never has a British woman won a global sprint title. And there's almost hush around the stadium now as the athletes are called forward to their blocks by the starter over on the far side of the stadium. A sprightly squat jump is the last action from Dina Asher-Smith before she settles into her blocks. She broke the British record in taking silver in the 100 metres earlier in the championships. Can she go better here? Breaking history in the 200 metres. The last to settle among these very tense, nervous athletes is Tina Gator of the Bahamas on the outside. Dina Asher-Smith in lane number 7 for Britain ahead of the women's 200 metres final. And they're underway, and Asher-Smith needs a strong start, and she gets one, and she starts to close down on Desiree Bryant, the American champion, on her outside. A scorching bend from Asher-Smith into the home straight, and she has the lead by a metre from Anulus in second place, but it's Asher-Smith who's coming through strongly now by 4 or 5 metres. Asher-Smith is powering clear, and she wins. It's gold for Britain in a time of 21.89 seconds. She equals her own national record over 200 metres, takes the acclaim of her fellow athletes, once again breaking down the barriers of sprinting history. The first British woman ever to win a global sprint title in a British record time. It's been corrected to 21.88 seconds. Race by race, she gets better and better. The silver goes to Brittany Brown of the United States. Kambunji of Switzerland takes the bronze, but the gold goes to the smiling, celebrating Dina Asher-Smith.
Dina, delight in Doha, Mike. That was phenomenal. She was almost already crying 10 metres from the line. She could taste the victory. And for it to be rounded down 2 national records. Finally, we have a world sprinting champion. Dina, we salute you.
Darren Campbell, you've predicted this for so long.
Oh, it's unbelievable, Mike. And you could see, but just before the start, the smile wasn't as bright as normal because, yes, of course, you're going to be a little bit nervous. This is your race to lose. And all she could do is try and stay calm. And you saw straight away from the start, within the first 10 metres, she used all that experience and speed that she's got from running a fantastic 60 metres. She then got into the straight and just opened up those strides, and like Alison said, those final 15 metres, wow, you could feel the joy just flood through her body. And look, she's shattered now. That's 6 races, but it's all worth it.
Darren? Say again, sorry? You don't normally get that chance to embrace what's about to happen in the last 10 metres, not in a 200 metres. You shouldn't have that gap.
No. But we said it before the race. It's going to take something unbelievable for her not to claim this gold medal. And wow, so proud. Well deserved. You know, she's such a talented young person and she deserves all the success that she's going to get.
At this time, even though when she did her lap of honour in the 100 metres, having claimed silver there were just a handful of people in the stadium. This time she's gone back down the home straight to a pocket of supporters with a number of Union flags. This time there is a claim for one of the greatest sporting achievements in British athletics history. And Darren, Dina Asher-Smith, you have to believe there's more to come.
Oh, come on, Mike. You know, it's what we said before the race. She's coming to this championships, and for her, she's wanted to prove to people that she's a championship performer and that she's a sprinter. And what I mean by that is able to run the 100 metres and the 200 metres. She's leaving this World Championship basically showing all her rivals that come next year at the Olympics, she is going to be somebody who's going to challenge for those gold medals. There is no doubt about that. To think that this is her 6th race, basically she could have ran at 90% and won the race, and she still went out there to complete the task as if the best in the world were in that race. She's preparing for the Olympics. She's got what she deserves from this World Championships, and I can't wait to see what she does next year.
The mark of the great champions is to produce their best performances when it matters most. Silver and gold here, both in British record times in the latest ever World Championships in September and October. She's risen to the challenge, produced her peak just when she needed it most, and maybe more to come next year in Tokyo. Ian.
Well, great for Dina Asher-Smith, and in about 3 minutes' time, when we reach half-time, there will be further reaction here on BBC Radio 5 Live to her success in Doha. Whilst we've been away, Salzburg have got a goal. It was a fine goal as well. You don't see it very often. Virgil van Dijk turned inside out by Hwang. Fine finish. Beat Adrian. 3-1 is the latest scoreline. Although at one stage, the electronic scoreboard was actually saying Liverpool 3, Salzburg 3. I think the Austrian commentators to our right enjoyed that particular moment, but
yeah, well, I tell you what, Salzburg, a bit of hope. I thought 3-0, so long farewell to Salzburg. But some finish that. He sat Virgil van Dijk down, didn't he? Hwang shaped to shoot with his left foot inside the box, chopped back on his right foot. Devastating finish, really was. They keep talking, they do look a threat in that final third.
Tell you what, there'll be a threat on their home turf. They're undefeated in 70 games at home, Salzburg, as Liverpool coming forward. So just a little bit of a check for Liverpool after cruising 3-0 up, that Hwang goal. And certainly it was celebrated wildly by the travelling Austrian support away towards our left-hand side. We're inside the penultimate minute of the first half as Salah, right corner of the penalty area. Liverpool in all red, playing from right to left, scooped forward by Alexander-Arnold, and yet still the fullbacks are quite high.
Well, this is the thing though, isn't it, that while Salzburg look a threat, you just fancy Liverpool to score more goals.
Here is Robertson on the score sheet for Liverpool tonight. Van Dijk passes the ball to Joe Gomez. Gomez will go to Salah over the halfway line. Alexander-Arnold ahead of him, just over the halfway line. That was a careless ball by Salah. Straight to Hwang. Daka making the run ahead of him. Daka then goes down under a challenge from Van Dijk, just lost out in sheer strength, and the referee was handily placed to say no free kick.
Well, he's better than that, Daka. Ball gets away from him, throws himself to the floor.
Wouldn't necessarily make the simulation game though for 6:06 on a Saturday, was it?
Well, I think he went down easily. How would you describe that if it wasn't simulation? The ball got away, threw himself down.
Don't think it was a dive. I think he just lost out to brushed off by Van Dijk. As Robertson tries to brush off Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai holds him off inside. Ooh. That was Junuzovic who dived in, and Junuzovic has got a free kick. Thought he was the one who had showed his studs to Jordan Henderson in that 50-50 challenge.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Very strange decision from the Swede.
But the referee gives it to Salzburg, who have reduced it, and in fact there is to be no added on time. So there's been lots of goals. You promised a goal fest, and we've had 4 at the break. Liverpool taking the lead through Mane after a 1-2 with Firmino inside the penalty area. Robertson finishing off a super move to make it 2 after 25 minutes, and then Salah's turn and shot after the header from Firmino was kept out by Stankovic, made it 3. But Hwang, 5 minutes before half-time, has made life interesting, Chris Sutton.
Yeah, ruthless Reds, going 3 goals up. Really enjoyed the full-back goal, and then you think Liverpool home and dry, but that goal from Hwang is just keeping Liverpool, as they go in for half-time, on their toes. Still game on.
Still not a formality. Half-time at Anfield. Liverpool 3, Salzburg 1.
Yes, the full-back goal, as you call it, Chris Sutton. I mean, what a thing. And for the left-back to be in the centre-forwards position the way he was, Robertson. I mean, can only he do that?
Blimey. I mean, in the early stages of the game, I mentioned, the way which Salzburg were playing, and they were giving up the wide areas, and that's Liverpool's strength, isn't it? And Robertson's had a lot of joy down the left-hand side. Alexander-Arnold, such good delivery, and we're actually surprised to see how far forward Robertson was, making a run across the near post. But I mean, it's a wonderful finish, centre forwards finish, as cool as you like. Really good to see, but that's Liverpool, isn't it? They're very, very best.
We were all blinking, weren't we? We were all blinking, thinking, who's that? Who's that up there? And it was Robertson. And at half-time, it is Liverpool 3, Salzburg 1. Chris Sutton gets something right. Goals galore in the first half. Reaction to come on that goal for Dina Asher-Smith. We'll hear from her, I'm sure, during this half-time interval. Back to Doha in just a moment. First of all, how are Chelsea getting on? First half stoppage time in France. John Southall.
Oh, you may just have heard the ooze in the background. It's Lille 1, Chelsea 1, because Jorginho has just hit the outside of the right post in the final moments of this first half. We're in the last 20 seconds of what has been an entertaining first 45 minutes. Chelsea dominated the opening half hour. There goes the half-time whistle. They took the lead on 22 minutes. On his 22nd birthday, Tammy Abraham beat the offside trap to tuck the ball into the bottom right-hand corner from 7 yards out. VAR checked it. He was onside. Lovely through ball as well from Fikio Tomori. Made him the academy that one. Lille offered very little until the final 15 minutes. Kepa denied Aruju, and from the resulting corner, the equalising goal. Victor Osimhen, unmarked, 6 yards out, headed in. Really poor defending. Set pieces, a real issue for Chelsea this season. It lifted Lille and the home fans. It's nicely poised, this one, and then Jorginho, just as we approached half-time, struck the right-hand post. Lille 1, Chelsea 1.
Also in that group, Group H, it's Valencia 0, Ajax 2 at half-time. Other Champions League scores this evening in Liverpool's group, Genk 0, Napoli 0 was a result from earlier. Borussia Dortmund won 2-0 at Slavia Prague. That's in Group F, which is the same group as Barcelona and Inter Milan. And what a first half there for Antonio Conte's side. Inter lead 1-0 at the Nou Camp. Great chances as well to double that advantage, but they are in front there in Spain. In Group G, Leipzig 0, Lyon 1, Memphis Depay, the former Manchester United man, with the goal, and Zenit 1, Benfica 0. Zenit St. Petersburg have won 4 of their last 5 at home in the Champions League, and good first half for them. In the Sky Bet Championship, Barnsley 1, Derby County 2 is the latest there. Tom Huddleston with a penalty, the second Derby goal. Chris Martin got the first. Barnsley had taken the lead. Brentford 0, Bristol City 0. Brentford on course for what would be a 6th clean sheet in their last 8 home matches at Griffin Park last season there, of course, in West London. Cardiff 2, 2, QPR 0 at half-time, Charlton 1, Swansea 1 and Luton 0, Millwall 0 in the Championship. But the main sporting story away from the Champions League is in Doha tonight at the World Athletics Championships, where Dina Asher-Smith upgrades her 100 metres silver medal to 200 metres gold. Further reaction back to your correspondent Mike Costello.
And Dina Asher-Smith, with the Union flag draped around her shoulders, is now completing her lap of honour and just waving to various sections of the crowd. There'd be maybe 4,000 or 5,000 left in here so far this evening in this stadium, in which the capacity has been reduced to 21,000, but smiles all around for Dina Asher-Smith, and this is such a good result, not just for British athletics, Alison Kirbishley and Darren Campbell, but for world athletics as well in a week like this.
Absolutely, and I just think, sports should also transcend across, just general daily life, and I think this will send an earthquake tomorrow. I really do hope that she's on the front page of most of our papers. I know that all the talk is about Brexit and the countdown to that, but this is such a good news story. I've just had a text from a friend of mine who's not a massive athletics fan. She's my oldest school friend. She's got 3 kids living in Hackney, and she's just said, what a role model to show British kids what's possible. They'll be going wild, and that's what Dina is. That's why we're getting excited a year out from the Olympic Games. That's why, because we have a true world star, and she's 23. She's going to be around for a long time to come. And
we've just seen images of her mother in the stadium as well. I don't think there'll be anybody happier in the stadium, and that includes Dina.
Well, she was looking after the 100 metres. Julie texted me, her mom, Julie Asher-Smith, and said, I'm struggling to find champagne. Well, I told her I'd buy her a bottle of Bolly. Well, me and you now, Mike, have to go and try and find it in a dry country. We need to find a bottle of champagne for that woman's mother.
Darren Campbell in London, considered thoughts?
Man, I'm speechless. It's I met Dina when she was 12. So I was honoured and proud, and look, she's in tears now. It's finally hit her, what she's done. Wow. I felt proud being in Rio, watching her collect an Olympic medal. I was like, but I knew that was only the beginning of the journey. She's always had that little twinkle and sparkle in her eye that says, I want to be the best. I want to be the best. I want to see how far I can take this. I want to make everybody feel proud. And wow, this is the beginning of her legacy, and can't wait to see where she takes it from here. Just unbelievable.
Going to hear from Dina Asher-Smith on 5 Live in just a few moments' time. Further tears and embraces with her mother, who is out there in the Middle East celebrating with her tonight. Britain's 200-metre world champion is Dina Asher-Smith. And what a time as well, Darren. I mean, that is a time that you said earlier, is just going to keep coming down. You were absolutely right. It's come down again in the final.
Yeah. It's like I say, she's one of the most determined people I've ever been around. She's extremely serious. I often say to people, don't let the smile and that confuse you, because beneath that lies a very determined individual. She's a history student, she's got a degree in history, so that kind of tells you she's very serious. She understands the sport, she's a student of the sport, and she knows where she's trying to get to. I think that's the most important thing. I think some athletes come into the sport and they're not sure how far they can go, or they don't have that belief of how far they can go in their career. And for some people, just making the British team is enough, and I don't blame anybody for that. But with Dina, it's always been about winning medals, and it's always been about creating a legacy. And as I say, what a way, what a way to do it, to go to the World Championships and win a silver over the 100 metres. That was unbelievable. But to claim that gold medal, and that's why she's in tears. People only ever see the end result, which is the gold medal, but the reason why she's in tears is because she knows all the hard work, all the sacrifices and everything that's gone in to create that performance, and on the day everything's worked out right.
Let's hear from the new world champion, Dina Asher-Smith, in Doha with BBC Sports' Jeanette Quachi.
Dina Asher-Smith, world champion over the 200 metres. We can see the emotion, we can see how much it means to you. It's rare that we see you break down but my goodness, you deserve it.
Thank you. Thank you. I just don't know what to say. I don't think it's properly sunk in, but it's just something that between now and like the last World Champs, John and I knew that I could do it, but there's a different thing kind of going and doing it, and to run 10.83 and 21.88 being tired because it's been a long champs. I'm tired. It means so much, and yeah, sorry.
Don't be sorry. 6 races back to back to end with a 21.88, a personal best. You timed your season to perfection. Anybody watching will be thinking, this is exhausting, but you can see how motivated you were to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I was tired, but I think I woke up today and thinking, well, this is it. Like, this is, well, obviously I've got the relay, but this is the last year individual, and this is the moment that you did all your work for. This is what we knew that we could achieve if the season went well. So obviously the tiredness just disappeared when I needed it to. So.
And it's been a big deal. Had I not stopped you and said, go back to your mother, she would have got to me. So to see your mum and to see your dad and everybody here, the support has been amazing. And how much does that mean to you?
It means so much. And even so, there's so many British fans here. I know there are a lot of British people living in Durban. I know loads of them travelled. And for my mum to be here, my dad, John, and his wife, and my physios and everything, it means honestly so much. Sorry, normally I'm quite chatty and full of energy, but I'm just like lost for words because it's a different thing, everybody being like, oh, you're the favourite or whatever, but you still got to go and do it. You're only the favourite if you perform how everybody expects you to, you know. So I was just really focused on putting together a good race, and I dreamt of this, but now it's real on my own.
And you join a club of amazing women: Jessica Ennis-Hill, Christina Hurigu, Fatima Whitbread, so many women as a world champion, Dina. And to join that club, what does that mean?
It's going to make me emotional. Stop saying it. It means a lot, but yeah, it means a lot. So I'm really happy, but ultimately I'm going to enjoy this one and use it as motivation to getting into the big one next year. But yeah, thank you so much.
And we are so proud of you. Congratulations.
Jeanette Quatchy with the questions there, trackside with Dina Asher-Smith. Actually, Jeanette delved into her handbag for some more tissues at the end of that interview.
Have you got any for me?
And they need it. And Darren, you're feeling it as well. And just to hear the way she reasoned with the whole evening, the fact she was the favourite, she knew that, and she knew the extra pressure that potentially that was going to put on her, and the uncertainty that brings. She dealt with it, Darren. She dealt with it.
Yeah, it was massive, and look, she had to embrace it. I could tell on the start line that she was tired, because I used to do 8 races, and by the end you just run on heart and emotion, and you trust everything that you've learned, and that's what that performance was. She trusted everything that she's done throughout the year, all the injuries she's been through, and she put it into that one performance. And like she said, you know, it's like the tiredness leaves you for that split second. If you keep believing and you focus on what you have to do, it's like the tiredness leaves you. And she just ran free. She ran her own race, and wow, World Championship gold medal, unbelievable.
It's been a famous night for British track and field and for British sport. Dina Asher-Smith, world champion over 200 metres. More reaction later in the evening here on 5 Live Sport. In the Champions League, Liverpool leading Salzburg 3-1. Chelsea being held out in Lille at half-time. Second half action to come here on 5 Live Sport. It's just before 9 o'clock. Let's bring you the latest news. Sarah Cook.
On digital, BBC Sounds, smart speaker and online.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live. Well, away from the sport, EU leaders have given a less than optimistic welcome to the UK's latest Brexit proposals, aimed at getting a deal in place by the end of the month. Boris Johnson says the plans are fair and reasonable, but the European Commission says they still contain problems. The Irish Prime Minister Leo Varadkar also says they don't fully meet the agreed objectives of the backstop. The plans include keeping Northern Ireland inside the EU single market for goods, but taking it out of the customs union. The DUP have backed the plan, but Labour says it's worse than the deal negotiated by Theresa May. Earlier, Downing Street confirmed it would prorogue Parliament next Tuesday ahead of a Queen's speech. That will take place on the 14th of October. In other news, Donald Trump's ramped up his verbal attacks on Democrats leading the impeachment inquiry against him. He's told reporters that Adam Schiff, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, was a lowlife who'd committed treason and should resign. Democrats have warned that additional charges could be brought against the president. And the Unite Union says 4 buyers are interested in the bus building firm Wrightbus, which went into administration last week. Around 1,200 jobs were lost.
This is 5 Live Sport with Jonathan Overend.
Darren Campbell still feeling it here in the studio. I'm feeling for you, man.
Mate, it's emotional. It's emotional.
Is. And actually,
you know the crazy thing. You know the crazy thing. I've always been obviously an athletics fan, and I feel very fortunate and blessed to have had a career in it. But I'm still a fan, and as I say, when you've seen somebody, or you've known somebody from the age of 12, you know, my school fundraising initiative gave her and her family a grant. That's how I met her at the age of 12. So you never know where the journey is going to take somebody, but what I did know from that first meeting was that she had a mother behind her who was focused. And in Dina herself, yeah, she had that, as I say, that I saw the steeliness straight away, and that was at 12. So to see her go all the way, the Europeans, well, for many people may not know, but I had a bleed on the brain last year, and I through my recovery, I watched Dina, and we spoke between the 100-meter final and the 200 meters, and we spoke about feeling tired when you do all the rounds and how'd you get through it and all of that. And you know, she then went on to win the 200 meters at the European Champs, leave there with 3 gold medals. And now you go to the big stage, and that's where everybody throws those questions. Are you capable of doing it on the big stage against the best at the Worlds, at the Olympics? Because the Europeans, in many people's eyes, isn't big enough. So then we go to the World Championships, and now she's leaving the World Championships guaranteed with 2 medals, one of those being a gold medal. She's still got the relay to come, and then next year we've got the Olympics. It's exciting times.
Sure is. Darren, great to have you with us. Just after 9 o'clock, 5 Live Sport. Let's head back to Anfield. Second half of Liverpool Salzburg. Chris Sutton and Ian Dennis.
Yeah, we're underway. Now the side has made a change. Liverpool leads Salzburg by 3-1. So in all red, they're playing from left to right. They're attacking the Kop end against the Austrian champions, who are in their change strip, the all black. I'll run through the two teams for you. Adrian in goal, a back 4 of Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson. A midfield 3 of Fabinho, Henderson and Wijnaldum. Front 3 of Salah, Firmino and Mane. And for Salzburg, they've got Stankovic is in goal, Christensen, Verber, Onguene and Ulmer for their defence. Minamino and Wepu, Junuzovic and Szoboszlai in the midfield. And Daka and Hwang are the 2 up front. 4-4-2 for Salzburg, as the ball is played with Gomez to Alexander-Arnold. Salah back with the England international. Fabinho now will switch play across towards that far side. Robertson, who scored a fine second goal for Liverpool. They went 3-0 up before Hwang got a goal back for Salzburg. Been a very, very open game as the ball drilled out towards this near side, cut out by the head of Szoboszlai, quickly won back by Joe Gomez. And for somebody who's never seen the film of Sound of Music, when you've got a co-commentator who's dropping in songs of Sound of Music, quite, you'd understand it goes over my head.
Well,
but Chris Sutton at half time,
not the only thing which goes over your head.
Chris Sutton at half time was gleeful in the fact that he dropped out about 4 or 5 during half time that I hadn't noticed. Henry Winter has. Henry down in the press box has been listening, and he said the only one you've not mentioned yet, you haven't mentioned the offside trap.
The trap, yeah.
Although I have every confidence, or should I say I have confidence. You see, I had to Google that.
Well, yeah, and I think Jesse Marsch has every confidence in the way that his Salzburg team play. I mean, it's refreshing, isn't it, to come to Anfield and to be that brave in many respects. I mean, you may say it's naive as well, letting Liverpool play to their strengths. They love teams who come onto them, don't they?
Not quite processional though just yet for Liverpool after that goal from Salzburg, as they're on the attack once again, and that bouncing ball dealt with by Gomez. Millwall are leading at Luton Town in the Championship. Luton Town 0, Millwall 1. There were 7:45 kickoffs. That goal scored on the hour. Barnsley 1, Derby 2. Brentford Bristol City 0-0. Cardiff City 2, QPR 0. Charlton 1, Swansea City 1. Luton 0, Millwall 1. And of course, if you're watching the red button, or listening on the red button on 5 Live Final Score, you'll see those graphics as well, also on the BBC Sport website. Radio 5 Live here at Anfield. Liverpool lead 3-1. Salah stabs the ball into the path of Henderson, the Liverpool captain. Back with Salah, whose goal, incidentally, in the first half means now that he's scored 11 goals in 13 Champions League games at Anfield. Mane, who got the first, turns the ball out to Robertson. Robertson gives it back to Mane. Challenge. Little flick from Henderson to Mane, unable to return the ball to the Senegal striker. And now Szoboszlai will play it forward. Daka will give chase. I noticed that Erling Haaland, mistake by Adrian, and he got away with that one. He tried to side foot the ball past the onrushing Daka, who just, with an outstretched left foot, and as Adrian could only watch, it went just wide of the left-hand post, a let-off for the Liverpool keeper.
Well, Adrian, what are you thinking here? Really just switches off. He actually shapes up to kick a long ball at first, but that is so lax from him. And I tell you, Liverpool and Adrian get very, very lucky.
This obsession of playing out from the back, we've seen a number of goalkeeping errors of late, and that was almost a third. When you think about the two at the weekend, Salah with a cross into the penalty area. Christensen was stretching and did just enough to head the ball away as Firmino lurked behind him. Firmino retrieves the ball to Robertson. Wijnaldum. Fabinho attacking the cop end. Nice little touch by Salah. Szoboszlai, though, will have it now for Salzburg. Ulmer plays the ball to the talented Hungarian international, the teenager. Ulmer's now continued his attack, and as he tried to play that ball forward, he said to Hwang, you go and chase that. Last touch came off a Liverpool player. It'll be a Salzburg throw. They want to take it quickly, but in their eagerness, they have advanced a number of yards down this near side, the left, and it will have to be brought back as Liverpool lead 3-1.
Yeah, you talk about, though, that pass from Adrian. I have to say, a 7-year-old could have played that. Just didn't get the angle on it. Just mental disintegration, really. What was he thinking of? How do you miss that pass? It's impossible.
I think, like you say, he was shaping to shoot to put his foot through it, and whether that was that indecision, as Gomez brings the ball under control, just steps forward to prevent it from reaching Szoboszlai. He's hammered it down long. Christensen with that downward header, a bouncing ball that Mane has to try and collect. Brentford have taken the lead at Griffin Park against Bristol City. Brentford 1, Bristol City 0. So every game in the Championship now has had a goal. Remember, Chelsea are still drawing in Lille in Group H. Ajax, the last we heard, were 2-0 up in that group at Valencia. And in Liverpool's group, earlier in one of the early kickoffs, it finished Genk 0, Napoli 0. So Napoli 4 points, Salzburg 3, Genk 1.
And I think everybody thought Genk, after Salzburg gobbled them up, were going to be the whipping boys. It just shows that Salzburg, on their day, they can cause any team problems.
Gomez. Liverpool still can't afford to take them lightly, can't afford to take the foot off the gas just yet. Jurgen Klopp might want a fourth to maybe then look to try and make the odd change with Leicester City on the horizon. A game you'll be able to listen to on BBC Radio 5 Live this Saturday afternoon here at Anfield. Pick of the weekend's games in the Premier League, Liverpool against Leicester City. Henderson gets the ball back from Firmino, out towards that far side. Wijnaldum, left corner of the penalty area, back to Henderson once again. Robertson on the overlap, he tries to thread it through into the penalty area for Robertson, and Salzburg will stop, and Minamino now will bring the ball away. He's being tugged back by Henderson, he's still going. If he can play the ball inside towards Daka, it'd have been in on goal.
Well, he just took an extra touch, but they're still on the attack.
They've won the turnover. In comes the cross from Minamino. Szoboszlai tees up Hwang, and he's dragged it left-footed from just on the edge of the area. But again, Salzburg were pressing. There's been a goal at the Valley in the Championship. Chris Wise.
And the Championship, in terms of the live league table, has a new leader. It's Swansea City, because they are 2-1 up now at Charlton Athletic. It is Ayew with the goal. Andre Ayew, 6 yards out, prodded in from a corner. Charlton 1, Swansea 2.
That would take them a point above Leeds United. So we had a chance here, and also a chance I'm hearing in Lille. John Southall.
Lille 1, Chelsea 1. Early chance for Chelsea in the second half. Willian corner from the right hand side, met by Tomori, who headed over the bar, but Lille are pressing now. Have a free kick over on the right hand side. Lille 1, Chelsea 1.
offside against Hwang. The flag is raised on that far side. Chris Sutton.
They're looking decidedly dodgy at the back, Liverpool. It's not often you say that, but the really high line, time on the ball in the Salzburg midfield. It's been nearly in a few times, peeling on Gomez. Hwang has.
Jurgen Klopp, who's yet to taste defeat at Anfield in European competition since he took charge. He's won 15 out of his 19 as his side lead 3-1 here, and Mane's done well on the left-hand side. Mane's done very well, and as it's pulled back to Wijnaldum, he's hit it right-footed, and it's just flashed wide.
It's brilliant, isn't it, from Mane out on the left-hand side, jinking past on Gwene on the byline, and he feeds the ball into Wijnaldum. He's got 10 yards out. The goal was gaping, and he hits it horribly wide.
Jurgen Klopp watching on with his baseball cap in the technical area. Activity on the Salzburg bench down below. Liverpool have given the ball away. This is Mwepu in the midfield. Junovic out to Christensen. Szoboszlai inside the penalty area, and a very good defending from Gomez, who just came across. Had he taken it first time and connected, that would have been a real chance. Straight to the other end. Liverpool, Firmino into Mane, blocked by the covering defender. Christensen, the right back, did ever so well. Chances at either end.
What a game. They're slugging it out, aren't they? But what an opportunity. And Gomez just did enough.
Quick free kick. Szoboszlai, who had that opportunity. Hwang, left-hand side, looks up. Hwang with a cross. Shot comes in. Mino. Got another goal back for Salzburg. They were 3-0 down, but they're making a right fight of this against the European champions. It's Liverpool 3, Salzburg 2.
Well, Salzburg, they're climbing that mountain, aren't they? But what a finish this was. From Minamino, the ball clipped in from the left-hand side and is about 12-14 yards out inside the box. It's a lovely connection into the far corner. No chance for Adrian. Game on.
Well. The last time we were here in European competition, Liverpool produced a comeback. Now it's Salzburg who are dreaming of doing just that against the European champions. From 3-0 down, it's 3-2. And it is very, very interesting. And they've continued their trend of scoring at least 2 goals in every game this season. They takes their season's tally to 57.
Now that is absolutely incredible, isn't it? Those numbers.
Straight to Lille, John Southall.
Lille 1, Chelsea 1, end-to-end stuff now. Chance for Lille, corner on the right-hand side. Benjamin Andre met it. Aretha Balaga full stretch to his right-hand side to push it away. Again it was a corner. Again they look vulnerable, Chelsea. Lille 1, Chelsea 1.
The Salzburg supporters with their red and white scarves, akin to what you've seen here at Anfield in previous European campaigns, swirling them around their heads because they've travelled in number. They've filled out that entire allocation away towards our left-hand side, and they believe they are the ones maybe looking to try and pick up an unlikely point when you consider that at 3-0.
Well, a point. I mean, the way they play, they're so gung-ho. They're going for the win, aren't they, Salzburg? There will be more goals. There will be more chances. Reading Jurgen Klopp's quotes this morning in the newspaper, he spoke about there will be wild moments in this match. And there certainly have been.
Just wonder, when we talked before about the electronic scoreboard, when it said Liverpool 3, Salzburg 3 after Salzburg got their first,
something
could have been prophetic. Anyway, it's 3-2. They've also brought on Erling Haaland, the son of Alfie Inga, who when he was at Leeds, Forest and Manchester City, of course, was called Haaland, but we're told it's pronounced Haaland, just in case you're wondering who we're talking about. He's 6'2", like his dad, blonde hair.
So is he Haaland or Haaland?
I'm saying Haaland, but he's...
I'll say Haaland then.
Well, bearing in mind you've been saying Salzburg and I've been saying Salzburg, that wouldn't surprise me, but he's 19 years of age. He was signed from Molde. He's scored 4 hat-tricks already this season. They're all looking at him, the top clubs. I'm sure one day we'll see him in the Premier League. He was schooled by Solskjaer at Molde. Here comes Hwang. Hwang turns, nice footwork, slips it onside. Szoboszlai in the penalty area, and he went to try and beat the keeper inside the near post. The other side of the goal was gaping.
Absolutely spot on. And Hwang, like a pirouette, he was on the edge of the box. He slipped the ball in. Szoboszlai, 6 yards out, should have just fed the ball into the far corner, and Salzburg would have been level. There's a horrible miss.
He only had probably, I don't know, a foot to try and aim it, to squeeze it past Adrian inside his near post.
What was he doing?
He went for the acute margin.
Well, it wasn't a difficult finish at all. I think he's trying to be too clever, the young man. Golden opportunity, and you're thinking, are they going to get a better chance than that? But they have carved Liverpool open time and time again and made the Liverpool backline look very, very ordinary.
And now you sense, as we approach the hour mark, that the Liverpool supporters trying to rouse the players, that the Liverpool supporters are sensing the danger that Salzburg are providing here at Anfield. Liverpool 3, Salzburg 2. BBC Radio 5 Live. The European champions were 3-0 up. Cardiff City 3, QPR 0 is the latest score in the championship. In the first half we said that Liverpool carried the threat every time they're coming forward. Bizarrely, Salzburg now, the game has really turned. Hwang plays the ball forward, and Wepu, right side of the penalty area. They're committing men forward. Ball inside, Minamino, angle is it tight, Haaland! They've only gone and done it from 3-0 down. They've hauled it all the way back, and Salzburg have made it 3-3 against the European champions, who've squandered a 3-goal cushion. What about that? Incredible, 3-3.
Well, and it's the sub, the super sub, the man of the moment, Erling Haaland. And Salzburg 3 down. They had a long, long way to run, but they are right back in this. Brilliant play down the right-hand side, and the ball's fed across. And Haaland, he's 2 yards out. He can't miss. Liverpool are red-faced, and they are rattled.
His 18th goal in just his 11th appearance of the season. He's only 19 years of age. He's 6'2". He's very, very mobile, and he couldn't miss. Well. Liverpool from 3-0 up, now at 3-3. We were talking before of looking to try and maybe make changes with the game against Leicester City. Liverpool really have to win this game, because away from home they're very, very fragile in Europe.
Well, they have a lot of work to do now. Liverpool, Henderson off, Milner on. I think Van Dijk should have done better. Stopped the cross. It's Minamino who feeds the ball through his legs, and Haaland, he can't believe his luck. He's just come onto the pitch. A lot of talk of him before this game. Could he make an impact? Well, he's done it within seconds.
His nickname when he was at Molde was Manchild. You'll have seen all the stories about him, from scoring 9 in the Under-20 World Cup against Honduras of Norway's 12 in that tournament in the summer, to his hat-trick against Genk on match day 1. And Liverpool have to haul themselves off the canvas. 3-3, Robertson into the penalty area, looking towards Firmino, headed behind by Verba. Now the Liverpool supporters find their voices as the former Liverpool striker Luis Suarez has equalised in the Nou Camp. Barcelona 1, Inter 1. That's in Group F, where earlier Borussia Dortmund won by 2-0. Corner kick down the far side. Liverpool are attacking the Kop end. Swung in by Milner. Van Dijk tries to meet it at the near post. Repelled by Salzburg. Still in the penalty area it is. Headed away by Mwepu. Hook clear then by Hwang. Comes back to Alexander-Arnold. Headed further away, this time by Christensen.
I've never seen Liverpool in recent times as rattled as this. This young team, full of confidence, Salzburg, are tearing them apart.
Anfield, of course, has been a fortress. Liverpool were looking for a 12th straight win here at Anfield in all competitions. Unbeaten at home in over a year. And now they've got to try and step it back up again as Salah gives away a free kick.
There wasn't much in that, was there? Yeah, the Liverpool fans.
How hard is it when you've taken your foot off the gas then to try and reassert your authority back in the game?
Well, I think the importance of this game, you know, they lost the first game, Liverpool, in Naples, and they know they've got major work to do. You have to credit Salzburg, though, for being absolutely fearless. Reckless they are, in many respects, the way they play. But it's entertaining, isn't it? They give it a go. We knew they were going to do it, but it's unbelievable to think that they could, you know, come to Anfield with the Liverpool backline. We associate that defence as being watertight.
They've never conceded 4 at home in European competition as Liverpool on the attack. Here is Salah. Challenge was made by Minamino. They're just growing in the game now. The confidence is oozing through these Salzburg players. Liverpool urged on by the crowd. Mane. Fabinho goes back. That was a loose ball. Hwang's after that. Alexander-Arnold slides back to steer it back towards Adrian, and he puts his foot through it on this occasion. Dealt with by a tall defender. Nguyen, headed forward by Van Dijk. And Junuzovic there with the header, and the free kick goes in favour of Liverpool.
But don't you just love the swagger, the strut of Salzburg? These young men play a brand of football that should be applauded.
Liverpool at 3-3. And that was prophetic after all, wasn't it? When it went 3-1 up the electronic scoreboard. Liverpool fans will be hoping that they can find a fourth in the closing stages of this game. Well, it's closing stages, actually still 25 minutes to go.
And you couldn't rule out Liverpool conceding another.
Origi, who's on for Wijnaldum. Liverpool coming forward. Remember, they were 3-0 up, Liverpool. Divock Origi. So they've got added firepower now. Salah comes forward, overruns it. It'll spin high up in the air and is caught by the goalkeeper, all in yellow. The thing is that Salzburg, they're equally eyeing a fourth goal. Very, very entertaining game here. But Liverpool throwing away a 3-goal lead. Van Dijk. And like you say, I mean, Van Dijk was turned for the first goal by Hwang.
Adrian again dallying, taking his time under pressure from Haaland.
Salzburg have ruffled up Liverpool here. Robertson. Origi holds the width on that far side. Origi goes on the outside of Christensen. Christensen says he didn't make the foul. The referee says play on. Christensen will be able to clear the ball away now. Here is Haaland. Back it goes to Mwepu, and out of play. It will go for a throw. The Liverpool supporters wanted a free kick. They've taken the throw quickly. Much more urgency now from Liverpool at 3-3. 5 live here at Anfield. Chelsea, remember, are still drawing in Lille in Group H, 1-1. Mane. Alexander-Arnold. Van Dijk at the back. Forward ball to Robertson. Milner is behind him. Origi finds Milner now. Liverpool have to build up all and do it all over again. Firmino to Robertson. Robertson into the penalty area. Cut out by the stretching legs of Nguyen, as Lyon have got a second goal in Leipzig. Leipzig 0, Lyon 2. Liverpool attacking the Kop end. 3-3 midway through the second half. We expected goals. Didn't expect this scoreline. Milner with the corner, especially when you're the European champions with 3 goals to the good. Let's find out how Chelsea are doing. John Southall.
It's Lille 1, Chelsea 1. Chelsea just pressing forward at the moment. Willian's down in the middle of the field, needing some attention. And at the moment, you have to say of the two sides, Lille possibly look the more likely to score it. Is it time for a change for Chelsea? Hudson-Odoi warming up. Lille 1, Chelsea 1.
Level here, 3-3. Liverpool have a throw, right-hand side, level with the penalty area. They're attacking the Kop end. He's going to leave it, Van Dijk, to Alexander-Arnold. Mane is down to his right, not much movement. Eventually Firmino shows himself, looking to turn inside the penalty area, surrounded by 3 black shirts. Flicked forward by Alexander-Arnold. Mane's low ball into the penalty area. Firmino tries to wriggle away free, breaks back to Mane inside the penalty area, back heels the ball to Salah. Salah tries to pick out Origi, covering Noah's the right back, Christensen, to head the ball away. Fabinho, downward header from Firmino. Salah! Liverpool are back in front. They've tried to restore the initiative in this helter-skelter Champions League match here at Anfield, and Mo Salah steers the ball right-footed. They're back in front, 4-3.
Yeah, Liverpool have found their feet again, and as that man Salah, sharp as anything, as the ball's flicked through from Firmino, hammers the ball into the roof of the net. But you think Salzburg, they'd hit back, and Liverpool were down. But so many times over the years at Anfield, they've shown that resolve and that fight to come back. And Salzburg had an opportunity to clear the ball. I think it's just going to VAR this one, but Firmino's onside, so is Salah. It's a clever, deft header from Firmino, the birthday boy, into Salah's path. And the goalkeeper in no man's land as Salah finds the roof of the net. Now Liverpool, don't let this slip again.
Salzburg are going to be making another change. The goal stands after the VAR check. Liverpool are back in front by 4-3. We're going to be seeing Okugawa coming on, a Japanese midfielder. Chris has talked about the feeder club Liefering. He's one who's come from that feeder club to the Salzburg first team. And the player who is going to make way, is it Szoboszlai? Yes, it is. Szoboszlai comes off. Well, promising things about the teenager, the Hungarian, but never really. He had that one opportunity, didn't he, in the second half, where if he'd hit it first time, he could have caused trouble, but he miscued. Minamino certainly caught the eye, the attack-minded Japanese international. Salzburg will still have it a go. Okugawa. Ulmer on the overlap, the left back delivers the cross, caught by Adrian. If you're going anywhere in the next 19 minutes, I wouldn't go too far without Radio 5 Live, because there could still be more goals in this game. 4-3 Liverpool.
Well, whether there are more goals or not, there will be chances, but you have to credit Liverpool in a way as well. To think they've shown the mark of champions in many respects, because they must have been shell-shocked. 3 goals up, game over. They're back in front.
Salzburg, the first team to score 3 goals at Anfield since October 2014. That was the last time that Liverpool actually were beaten in European competition at home, when they lost 3-0 to Real Madrid. They've gone undefeated in 22 European games since. Alexander-Arnold with the corner kick. Mane inside the 6-yard area. If he connects with a stooping header, it's a goal at the near post. Salzburg had switched off. He didn't make the connection. The ball is hoisted back in again from the left-hand side. Alexander-Arnold. Minamino heads it out of play for a Liverpool throw.
And that was echoes, wasn't it, of Barcelona. It was from Alexander-Arnold. Such a sharp brain, and then on the money with the delivery.
Yeah, it was
scored, Mane.
The quick thinking corner that caught out Barcelona. This time it was delivered in low towards the to the near post, as Zenit St. Petersburg now lead Benfica by 2-0 in Group G. What's the latest in Group H? Lille, Chelsea, John Southall.
Lille 1, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have made that change. Callum Hudson-Odoi has come on. Reece James has gone off. They're playing at a back 4 now, Chelsea, and Renato Sanchez, remember him? He's on for Lille. Lille 1, Chelsea 1. 20 minutes to win this, Chelsea.
Ajax are 3-0 up at the Mestalla in also Chelsea's group. Valencia 0, Ajax 3. Donny van der Beek has scored their 3rd goal. Liverpool 4, Salzburg 3. Minamino goes back to his goalkeeper Stankovic, all in yellow, away towards our right hand side. Nguene plays the ball forward. All of a sudden it opens up. Hwang, Haaland, Haaland tries to go on the outside of Alexander-Arnold, who stood tall in the challenge. Now Mane can come forward. Almost slides to win it back. Minamino now is forward. Early ball over the top. He's looking towards Okugawa, who's going to go on the outside of Gomez. Gomez looking to use his strength. Shields the ball away from the Japanese midfielder. And out of play it goes for a goal kick to Liverpool. Their lead is a slender one.
Yeah, he did well there, Gomez. Had a bit of a dodgy first half and has taken him a while to grow into this game. Obviously not first choice this season to play alongside Van Dijk, so a big night for him.
That's the voice of Chris Sutton on BBC Radio 5 Live here at Anfield. And we have got 16 minutes remaining of normal time. Luton Town have equalised at home to Millwall in the Championship. Luton 1, Millwall 1, and Bristol City have levelled at Griffin Park. Brentford 1, Bristol City 1. Barnsley 1, Derby 2. Cardiff 3-0 up against QPR. Swansea City still going top as they lead Charlton by 2-1 at the Valley. Salzburg, ball played out. Christensen will keep it in play just down by the corner flag. Salzburg are attacking the Anfield Road end of the ground behind him. Ball played in now to Mwepu, tall, lanky midfielder. Back towards the blonde-haired right back. Gets a throw as well, level with the penalty area. Salzburg still threatened. Liverpool still have to be cautious.
He may be tall and lanky, Mwepu, but he can play, can't he?
So many talented youngsters in this Salzburg side. Sure, the scouts will have been flocking to Anfield on this relatively mild evening, an autumnal evening, as Minamino has dropped a little bit deeper, wins the ball back.
Is it? It's chilly.
Well, as you say, I'm from the north. Junuzovic plays the ball forward. Okugawa just at the edge of the penalty area, shoots right-footed. Adrian was well positioned. He had options, right and left, Hwang and Haaland.
Yeah.
He went for goal.
Haaland had made a good diagonal run, which allowed Okugawa to create the space. That's a good opportunity. 18 yards out, straight down Adrian's throat. No power on the shot. But once again, Salzburg opening up that Liverpool backline too easily.
Junuzovic plays the ball over the top. Okugawa, well, he started to run after it, but it was always going away from him. One bounce and into the arms of Adrian, all in green away to our left-hand side. The 24th campaign in Europe's elite competition for Liverpool. The European champions here at Anfield, their first home game since last year's success against Tottenham Hotspur, and looking to bounce back after that match day 1 defeat against Napoli. Van Dijk, Gomez, forward ball near side the right to Alexander-Arnold. In all red, playing from left to right. Back it goes to Gomez. Maybe now looking to try and show a degree of control in the closing stages with 13 minutes of normal time remaining. Salzburg may well be making another change. Their third and final change as the ball is back with Adrian.
Probably be another forward they'll sling on.
Well, if that would be the case, it would probably be Seko Koita, the Malian international. We'll wait and see. Mane is forward, picks out Firmino. Firmino's right-footed shot charged down. Onguene comes to Salah. Salah left corner of the penalty area, slips it back. Milner drives, takes a deflection off Junuzovic and goes behind into the cop for a corner kick. Liverpool 4-3.
Yeah, a couple of good blocks on the edge of the box from Salzburg. Liverpool just need to see this one through. Could do with another goal to give them that breathing space.
Liverpool 4, Salzburg 3, 12 minutes of normal time remain. Corner kick for Liverpool, Salah to take it, hits it hard, it's an away swinger, headed back into the penalty area by Firmino, lifted up, Hwang, can't control the ball, runs out of play for a Liverpool throw, almost level the penalty area, and now we'll see he'll be coming on for Salzburg, and it is going to be 16 who's going to be, is that 16? No, it's number 4. It's Ashimiru who's going to be coming on and it's the 16 who's going off. Junuzovic is the player who's going off, so it's a like for like, because Ashimiro is a midfielder. He's a Ghanaian international. Mind you, he's popped up with a couple of goals this season in his 7 appearances. So Salzburg's third and final change, as they still battle away. They keep the ball in play and they're looking for a counter-attack, but it's quickly snuffed out by Mane. Let's get back to Lille. John Southall.
15 minutes to play. Lille 1, Chelsea 1. This could go either way. Half chance for Mason Mount on the right of the penalty area. Took the ball in his stride. Shot looked like it was going to the bottom corner. Mignon saved it. Lille 1, Chelsea 1.
Nice turn by Salah. Couldn't pick out Mane. The left back was tucked in. Ulmer to clear. Liverpool are on the attack though, back with Alexander-Arnold near side the right. 5 live here at Anfield. 4-3. Salah just outside the penalty area. Ball forward was blocked. Haaland tries to get away from Fabinho. Chases after that one. He's got a running style very much like his father, I've got to say.
Yeah, he's a big boy, isn't he? Powerful. 19 years of age. He looks a real handful.
His arms were pumping as it was all action, chasing after that ball. Big lad at 6'2". I think his dad's here tonight working for Norwegian TV. Liverpool, Van Dijk. Just over 10 minutes remain of normal time. All to play for in Lille. Chelsea looking to try and get their first points on the board in Group H, where Ajax have taken control of that group. Looking to win back-to-back games for Ajax. They're 3-0 up against Valencia, and there's been a goal in Lille now. John Southall.
And Chelsea lead. Lille 1, Chelsea 2. Hudson-Odoi on the left-hand side, swung over, really good cross, fell to Willian on the right of the area, shot into the turf, over the keeper, into the net. 300th appearance for Chelsea for Willian, and he's got the goal. Lille 1, Chelsea 2.
Big result for Chelsea if it was to stay like that, bearing in mind that the next back-to-back games will be against Ajax in that group. Liverpool looking to get their own campaign up and running. Minamino hooks it away downfield. Gomez tries to get in front of Hwang, but he's wrestled him to the floor. South Korean takes a tumble inside the centre circle. Swedish referee gives a free kick to Salzburg, who only trail by 4-3.
Yeah, they're just in a bit of a lull in their play, Salzburg. I think they're getting their final breather for their last onslaught.
Ulmer, the left back, near side, chips the ball into the penalty area towards Haaland, headed away there by Gomez, looking to try and win it back. Okugawa battling for the ball. It's Alexander-Arnold who'll clear long. That bouncing ball almost got away from Jerome Onguene, but he leapt tall in the air to the 21-year-old defender. Liverpool now with Firmino, holds on to it. Did well, Firmino, done very well. Hasn't scored yet on his birthday, but he's certainly contributed up front, as he always does. Liverpool 4-3. Origi to Salah. Zenit now lead Benfica 3-0. Origi left-hand side, does the step over. Drills it in low, blocked by the heels of Christensen, the right back. Robertson on the Liverpool left. Milner now takes over. He's taken over the captain's armband in the absence of Jordan Henderson too.
More control now. Liverpool keeping possession far better.
Ball over the top. Robertson, will he keep the ball in play? No, he won't. It'll be a goal kick to Salzburg, and we have 8 and a bit minutes remaining of normal time. But with the amount of substitutions, I would say 3, maybe even 4 minutes of added on time. So the best part of 10 minutes still for Salzburg to create another opportunity.
Yeah, and you think there will still be more goals in this game. Salzburg, well, they're throwing bodies forward all night. You think Liverpool, can they exploit the spaces in behind that Salzburg back line? Klopp not happy about something in his technical area.
Well, there'll be no surprise how Salzburg have performed here tonight, bearing in mind that he was talking them up in his press conference yesterday. Certainly no surprise to Chris Sutton. Said at the very start it would be a goal fest, and we've had 7 goals to enjoy here at Anfield. I wouldn't necessarily say enjoy's the right word for the next 7 minutes or so for Liverpool, as they look to try and see out this game against Salzburg. They have a throw which Van Dijk is going to leave, and they're just trying to slow it down a little bit more now as they protect this long and unbeaten run of 24 games at home in all competitions at Anfield. Over a year. They're complaining about time wasting to Alexander-Arnold, who goes down the line on this near side. Mwepu turns, looks up, switches it onto his right foot, now chips it long. Okugawa has made the run on this near side, the left. Gomez comes across, saw the danger. Gomez deals with it, and the referee's blown his whistle. There was a foul there from the Japanese midfielder on the England international. Liverpool 4-3. Full time at Charlton now in the Championship. Chris Wise.
Charlton 1, Swansea 2. So one of the Championship's early pace setters are the leaders of the pack again, Swansea, tonight. They've usurped leads at the summit thanks to Andre Ayew's second half winner. Charlton 1, Swansea 2.
And QPR, who've had a decent start to the season, have been beaten in Cardiff. Cardiff City 3, Queen's Park Rangers 0 is a full-time score in the Championship. Adrian strikes the ball downfield, headed on by Firmino. Christensen looks for the early ball to the ever-willing Hwang. And now Liverpool will play the ball away from their defence. Robertson, Origi, Firmino, the link-up player, holds it up, switches it out to this right-hand side. Alexander-Arnold goes in field. Milner's the pivot, goes back to
What's unbelievable, Deno, about that is Liverpool are playing a 4-2-4. You know, they're not trying to hang on. They're trying to score another goal. Positive manager, isn't he, Jurgen Klopp?
Long ball from Adrian. Ulmer's mishit ball. Early play forward by Fabinho towards Mane to try and expose the gap left by the Salzburg left back. Covering was Verber. Early ball up towards Haaland. Gomez dealt with Haaland. Back with Gomez it goes. With a back pass to Adrian. Hwang was looking to try and put pressure on the Liverpool goalkeeper. Struck it away downfield, headed away by Ulmer. Back it goes towards Salah. Minamino, Charlton, Barnsley have got a late goal. Barnsley 2, Derby County 2 is the latest score at Oakwell. Remember, Charlton 1, Swansea City 2 we've already brought you. And we're still waiting for Brentford and Bristol City. Luton, Millwall, both of those, the last we heard, were 1-1 in the Championship. How long's remaining? 5 minutes of normal time. Liverpool 4, Salzburg 3. We haven't had a yellow card yet, have we, in the game?
No, I mean, it's been competitive. There hasn't been too many daft challenges.
Adrian picks out Origi, chested back into the path of Robertson. Bursts forward from his left back roll, inside to Salah, return ball to Robertson, cut out by Christensen, only as far as Fabinho. Alexander-Arnold on this near side. Little flick inside by Salah, delightful. Firmino tries to wait, dispossessed by Mwepu. And now the ball will be cleared away by the midfielder for Salzburg, and then it's back downfield by Gomez. Picked up by... It's gone loose again, they've lost the control, Liverpool. Ashimiro, that'll be a yellow card. Yep. Fabinho is booked, taking out Ashiwiru.
Yep, and you could say, if there is such a thing as a good foul, Ashiwiru, the 21-year-old, had broken clear off Fabinho halfway into the Liverpool half, and the break was on, the chance was on. Now Liverpool can get numbers back to defend this free kick.
Barcelona have come from behind. Luis Suarez at the double. Barcelona lead Inter by 2-1 in the Nou Camp. Benfica on the score sheet in Russia. Zenit St. Petersburg 3, Benfica 1. Liverpool have a slender lead here at Anfield. We've got 3 minutes of normal time remaining. They lead 4-3. The European champions were 3-0 up. Ulmer chips in the free kick. It was aimed towards Christensen, cleared away by Origi, looking towards Salah. The ever-industrious Minamino came back to deal with that. And out of play it goes for a throw. Alexander-Arnold to take it. Mane. Little tussle there between Hwang and Fabinho. The Swedish referee is just saying, cut it out, no further action taken. Fabinho, of course, just booked moments ago. Van Dijk strokes the ball across towards Robertson on that far side. A few supporters in the centenary stand on the far side and walking up the yellow gangways.
No. It's absolutely ridiculous.
They clearly have faith that Liverpool are going to see this game out, but it's
the way this game has gone,
you could take nothing for granted, yet they are leaving early at 4-3 with 2 minutes remaining of normal time. Salzburg go back. The goalkeeper Stankovic, all in yellow. And Mwepu. Minamino. Ashimiru. Verba now the central defender, carries the ball towards the halfway line, chips it forward to Ulmer. The left back was forward. Fabinho will flick it away, high in the air. Downward header by Fabinho, headed away by Onguene, the central defender. Ulmer, the captain, turns, but it drifts out of play for a Liverpool throw. Still clapping and coaxing and trying to urge on his side is Jesse March, the American coach. Certainly impressed here, particularly in the second half, Salzburg. And Liverpool are in no real hurry. They'll be testing the patience, I think, of the Swedish referee. The bench of Salzburg are complaining.
Well, could you imagine, turning up this evening, Liverpool time wasting against Salzburg?
Naby Keita is going to be coming on against his former side as well. Final instructions from Jurgen Klopp. The ball is chipped long, good header away, and needed to be from Van Dijk because Haaland was making the run behind him. Ashimiru loses out to Fabinho. All of a sudden Mane now is away. Right hand side, Liverpool lead 4-3. Mane, it's 4 against 4. Origi on the edge of the area does the step over. Origi then has his angle towards goal closed down. Salah crosses, left corner of the penalty area, downward header by Mane. Firmino flat-footed, scooped up by the goalkeeper.
Just on his heels, here goes Salzburg.
And now it's up with Haaland on the halfway line. Options ahead of him, there are 4 black shirts to aim for. Haaland picks out Hwang, flag stays down. Christensen joins the attack, the right back. Hwang has drifted out towards the right-hand side. Hwang delivers the cross. Haaland looks up. Good clearance by Alexander-Arnold, not once but twice.
Oh, the ball bouncing. Mwepu asking for a penalty, handball from Alexander-Arnold. I don't think it was. The free kick was given anyway, but he had to get that right. Alexander-Arnold. Jesse Marsh, he's not happy. The Salzburg coach, let's see. Just having a look at this on the monitor. Oh, it did hit his arm. He was outside the box anyway, though.
Naby Keita is going to be coming on. And it's Mo Salah who's going to be going off. Mo Salah with his 2 goals, and of course the significant one was his final one because that put Liverpool back in front. 12 goals in 13 Champions League games at Anfield for Mo Salah, taking his tally for the season to 6, and it might just be enough to see Liverpool over the line in this tight contest against Salzburg. And 3 minutes have added on time, which we're now into. Remember, Chelsea still lead in Lille by 2-1 in Group H. On a night where Dina Asher-Smith took gold in Doha, the World Athletics Championships in the 200 metres. Liverpool all in red. They picked up the silverware, of course, last year, looking to defend that. Only on one occasion has a European champion lost their opening 2 games. That was Nottingham Forest back in 80-81 when they lost both legs to CSK Sofia. At one stage you might have feared the worst for Liverpool. The momentum in the second half was clearly with Salzburg when they wiped out Liverpool's 3-goal lead, but Liverpool have reasserted their authority.
Tell you where they've caused Liverpool big problems. Hwang's movement in behind, and I think you're here Saturday, Deno, against Leicester City. Jamie Vardy, will he be able to capitalise on a Liverpool high line?
Ball played forward by Ulmer. That should be picked up by Adrian. Indeed, it is claimed by the goalkeeper. In fact, he just lets it run out for a goal kick. Finished at Kenilworth Road, Luton Town 1, Millwall 1. Brentford 1, Bristol City 1 is also a result, and that late equaliser for Barnsley in the 4th minute of added on time means that it's Barnsley 2, Derby County 2. That is also a result in the Championship. The Liverpool supporters with more now in their droves heading for the exits because by my watch we've got 30 seconds remaining of added on time. And they've survived a scare against Salzburg. 4-3, the European champions have the advantage. Alexander-Arnold turns, hooks it downfield long. Firmino having his arm pulled by Ulmer. The referee says play on. The Liverpool supporters protest. Now with Verba. Ashimiru, forward ball, stretching. They've lost the ball in the midfield. Firmino links up with Keita. Christensen just gets the challenge there. Milner sends Cater away left-hand side. Liverpool lead 4-3. Cater on that far side, the left. Minamino chasing. Liverpool keep the ball. Milner, with his years of experience, will go back. We've got a fan on the pitch, a pitch invader, who's taken out quite high by one of the stewards.
Yep, I think that would be certainly a sin bin. The Rugby World Cup.
Yeah. Talking of which, tomorrow morning from 11, Ireland against Russia. Ireland looking to bounce back after that defeat to Japan. Every home nation live on 5 Live at the Rugby Union World Cup. And I think he's a Salzburg supporter with his shorts and his red and white scarf draped around his neck is being taken away by the stewards. We've been playing now for over 3 minutes, and there it is. Well, relief inside Anfield, because Liverpool have beaten Salzburg by 4-3. At half-time, they looked to be cruising. The second half, well, they had to dig deep. They had to fight against this spirited Austrian champions, as there's another pitch invader comes on. In fact, there's 2 young boys who've come on, so the stewards are having to deal with that. But Liverpool have survived the scare. Chris Sutton.
What a night. Another brilliant European night at Anfield, and both sides played their part. Liverpool breathtaking in the first half, blew Salzburg away, and fullback to fullback, that goal, Alexander-Arnold, Andy Robertson, one of my favourite things. But Hwang got Salzburg back in it just before half-time, and then they came out fearless in the second half, Salzburg did. Level the game up at 3-3. Haaland coming off the bench to get the equaliser, but Liverpool played with that pride and that passion, got themselves back in front. Mo Salah, and that's a big 3 points for Liverpool. Lost the first game in this group, a much needed win.
Liverpool 4, Salzburg 3.
What a night, what a match, crazy match. Chris Sutton, how many songs from The Sound of Music did you get in during the 90 minutes?
I lost count. I mean,
it was a good effort.
Forget The Sound of Music. I mean, what a game this was tonight. And you think, a team coming to Anfield, an Austrian team, 4-4-2, being brave. And in many respects, you're thinking, that's madness. You're playing into Liverpool's hands. But they have that confidence in the way they play. They've scored a barrel load of goals all season. Yeah. I think Dano said 55 in 12 games before tonight. And you're thinking, you can't have that audacity against the European champions. They did.